using a 19mm socket, let's go ahead and remove our lug nuts. Take your wheel, remove it, set it aside. And 12mm socket, we're going to remove this bolt here and this bolt here. Now that we have that out, let's go ahead and slide our caliper off. Use a pry tool. Go ahead and pop this unit off. Remove our brake pads. We're going to use a bungee cord. We need to support our caliper up out of the way. Next what we're going to do is we need to get to this bolt here and this bolt here. We're going to use our 17mm socket and our ratchet to go ahead and loosen those. Using our 17mm socket and our 1/2" drive ratchet, let's go ahead and loosen these bolts. Remove the bolt, take your caliper bracket, slide that off, and set it aside. Go ahead and grab your brake rotor, slide that off and set it aside. At this point here, you want to go ahead and remove our shim spacers right here. There should be one on the top and bottom. Set those aside. Use our 17mm socket and ratchet. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove these bolts for our wheel hub. So we're loosening this up here, and our wheel hub is coming loose on the other side. So as you're pulling out this last bolt, have your hand on the wheel hub on the other side and get ready to catch that. Now we did spray all this down with some rust penetrant before tackling this job. Let's go ahead and spin that bolt out the rest of the way. Pull that out, and here's our wheel hub. You want to go ahead and use our bristle brush. Want to make sure that our surface is clean for our replacement component. In order to go ahead and spray this down and clean it, you want to be careful of your speed sensor in the back right here. So we're just going to keep the chemical away from that. Going to clean this. Before installation, you want to make sure that your new hub has the O-ring around the perimeter. If it doesn't have one, either go down and buy a new one and replace it, or you can try reusing the original one off of your old hub. Just make sure it's in good condition before installing it. So you want to go ahead and take your wheel hub, line that up. I'm going to feed one of our bolts into the back. We did put some anti-seize compound on there. And we're just going to start threading that in by hand. Go ahead and get your other bolts started by hand. Get them started up your threads, and then we'll go ahead and snuggle those all down. Go ahead and torque these bolts down to 73 foot-pounds. And we're going to reinstall our washers on the front side of the knuckle. And we're going to go ahead and install our bracket. I'm going to slide that in over our brake rotor, push our brake rotor back, and we're going to go ahead and get the bolts in and get these started a few threads. And snug that bolt down. Let's go ahead and tighten down the upper. There's not a lot of room here. I'll do this just to get the bolt in, and then we'll switch over to the wrench to tighten it down. Throw our wrench on there, make sure that's snug. You want to go ahead and torque these caliper bracket bolts onto 80 foot-pounds, and then go ahead and repeat for the upper. Install your inboard brake pad, slide that into place, repeat for the outside pad. Squeeze them together, push your rotor in. Slide your slider pins in. You can slide your caliper down and over. Get your caliper bolts threaded in, a few threads. Just going to go ahead and snug these down. Go ahead and torque these down to 17 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and install our wheel. Go ahead and get our lug nut started by hand. Once we get all these on, we'll go ahead and snug them down. Let's go ahead and torque our lug nuts down to 80 foot-pounds.